Well, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan. Nice to be with you. Oh, just woke up and I'm a little right up in here. You know what I mean? It's a little stuffy. My parents are here. My dad and my new new the stepmom are visiting. I got picked them up at the airport today. That was nice. How are you guys? I think they're asleep. I don't know if they're asleep or not. Why would they be asleep? It's 10. It's not even 10 o'clock, and they're from North Dakota. I imagine they're probably just sitting in their room going, we should probably try to go to sleep so that we can get on Eastern Standard Time. Hello, everyone. Let me see what we have going on here. Hail Holiday from Adrian Stone. New stepmom. Well, I mean, how 10 years? I think they've been married. Maybe longer than that. I don't even know. Hey, EVS, happy week before Turkey Day. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting ready around here. We're planning the pies. I think Monday we're going out and going shopping. It's going to be great. I think I'm seeing my sister tomorrow. My little sister is going to come down, and everybody's going to try to take advantage of the fact that my dad's in town. Flown in by yours truly, of course. You know, I've got to bring my dad to the East Coast so the rest of the family can enjoy him. Let's see. Ray from New Jersey says, "Hail, hi guys." Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, Rainbow Brute. Diller draws. Rainbow Brute still scheduled to launch next Sunday. We're gonna get that going and get that sucker out. EVS is never coming on my show, says Mumbles. Oh no. EVS, it is pie season. Don't you gorge? I will try not to. I ate very little today. I was pretty good. Good to see EVS up and moving. I did take a little bit of a nap with Ava, who was bouncing around. She had too many cookies. We're just having a nice time. It's kind of nice. Put your dad on. I'm tired of listening to you, says Missing America. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my dad's here, and my dad's politically a little bit like me. You know, he wanted Trump to win, you know, and so we're down in my studio here, and he's just like, "What do you think's going to happen?" And I'm like, "Oh man, either way, it's lose-lose. If Trump chooses to push this and win, it's going to be bad, and if Trump doesn't, it's going to be bad. Turn off your TV for a little while, maybe. You know, I don't know. It's going to be a source of distress for you. I will worry about it. Let me worry about it. Yet Mind Trick says I'm not a member anymore. Damn you, Google. Oh no. Well, I mean, you could still be a member if you want to. Ray from New Jersey says Trump won. He certainly did. Yeah, I was talking to Andrea about it too, and she said Trump sounded like he was giving in a little bit today. I don't know. You know, I'm not sure. 200 Watt Studio says, after non-binary sex, who cleans up the gender fluid? That's a great line. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Wow, EVS. Actually, you do look much less Rubenesque. Well, I'm dressed all in black. I'm as fat as ever. You know, don't be worried about it. Don't give me too much credit. You know, where I am still fat. Less TV, more EVS. Here we go. Andrea, Hunter, Holiday, Ethan. Right at the end of this line. 7 of 9 has been cruel to me in the ratings lately. I have to doubt his polling. Well, I'm kind of annoyed. I woke up and I checked my mail, and somebody sent me an email. It was just like, you know, it's like this dude felt the need to just kind of imply that you were a white supremacist. And I guess that's becoming more set in cement as things go by. I couldn't be less of one if I tried. These people, I don't know why they do this. I find it to be distressing. Oh, wow. Yet I Mind Tricks joined the channel. Thank you for becoming a member. The Shockroach card is on the way. Justin Miller became a YouTube member. Thank you. The Shockroach card is on the way. I'm going to do a bunch of these cards in a row. Somebody who's helping me with the toys is also very good at making trading cards. I'm going to switch that job over to him. We're going to make even better trading cards. They're going to still look kind of the same, but they're going to be better quality. And I'm going to get a bunch of them done all at once so that I have them lined up so that member cards will go out. Andrea said today, she said, I got nothing to do. She's like, what are you doing? Are you live streaming? I'm like, she's like, when was the last time you live streamed? And I said, I guess it was like a couple days ago. I did a goofy live stream and talked about Phil Collins smelling bad. And she's like, we sold 0 eBay Cyberfrog books. You get on there and you start talking about eBay, Frogman. I said, okay, I will do that. I'll talk about eBay. I'll talk about, Cyberfrog. I'll promote the books, and I'll also complain. David Bowser says, at my house, we are doing full-blood Wagyu steaks instead of turkey this year. Well, that's untraditional, but that's also a good thing. I would save those steaks for Christmas or New Year's. Well wishes and happy holidays to you and your family. Eat lots of pie. Thank you, David. Wow, those steaks are expensive. Wagyu steaks. Yes. I had those. I've only had those a few times in my life. Maybe 3 or 4 times, and they are absolutely splendid steaks. So good for you. But again, I would still say turkey. Turkey is something that you only really have once a year. There's no. It's a hard thing to get your wife to cook a turkey twice in a year. And my wife gets all revved up and ready to cook that turkey. She's thinking about it already. She's talking about the brine. She's planning it out. And she does a great job with the turkey. But I mean, it's a once a year thing that I wouldn't miss. I actually anticipate that turkey too. Yeti Mind Trick says, do I have to send my address again to get the card? Yes. The way it's going to be is that we will send out a link. We will post a link to a site called ineedyouradress.com. And you're going to plug every single time, because we get rid of your data. We do not keep your data. We do not sell it to porno sites. We don't do stuff like that. So we just want your address once, and then we delete it, and then we ask for it again every single time for every new card. You'll type your address into I need your address, and it files all of these addresses down in a way that's easy to print labels. This is the only way that we can do this. I mean, we're shipping out cards. We're shipping out a massive amount, 1,000, 1,200, sometimes trading cards to people in envelopes. And you can't just hand address those. You need to do that quickly. So we appreciate you guys, being a part of helping us out and just plugging your address in multiple times per year if you're a member. Thank you guys. Yeah, it does sound like Amway. No, we're just trying to get better at this. Yeah, new card. New cards are coming. The Shockroach card is coming. I've got the art for it. I wrote the backing for it. I'm going to put the Shockroach card out. I'm going to put a bunch of cards out together so that we have them all lined up. We get the Shockroach card out to new members. We get the next card out to new members. Andrea does the brine. Shane will take the rain, says 200 Watt Studio. I don't quite know what you mean by that. Sometimes you guys have inside jokes for this channel that are so insider that even I don't know what you mean. Freddie Drongo says Greece is better than turkey is better than EVS. I'm low on the ratings lately. All right. So in any case, I appeared on a show called Comics Aficionado. A guy named Wes from Thinking Critical. He's got a channel called Thinking Critical. And he asked me to come on the show, and I was game. I was like, sure. If you asked me to come on your show to be a part of something like this, I'm going to come on the show eagerly. Happy to do it. One of the things that my dad said also, as soon as he got in the car, was he was angry with one of my appearances. He was angry with the Dan Shaheen appearance. He said that guy was out of line. And the part where he was saying that the worst thing that you ever did was help out your boy Zach, help out your friend in a legal situation in which income was taken from him through tortious interference. He's like, I wanted to reach into the screen. And I was like, I understand that. But, most of the time, I'm more anxious to appear on shows with people who are against me, who have the wrong idea about me, who disagree with me in some way. That's a real opportunity. Being on a show with people who already agree with me, it's fun. I mean, it's okay. It's a nice kind of community thing, but it really doesn't do anything to change the world and the world that we live in. It's better. I'd much rather get on a YouTube show with crazy Star Wars SJWs and explain to them why only 5% of women like Star Wars, and they should therefore be ignored. Their concerns should be ignored with what men and women hired to, given power in Star Wars, think that women want. Women don't want anything Star Wars. I know that's a shocking thing to hear, but it is true. I would love to discuss that with people rather than, I could say that to people who already agree with me, and it's no big deal. But anyway, so I was on this show, and I thought it went well. I didn't know most of the people that were on the show with me. I really had I knew of Wes. I've seen Wes, but this is a picture of me on the show. We've got Wes from Thinking Critical. We've got this guy, Just Pele. I don't know who he is. Fatal J, I just met. I liked Fatal J a lot, and he was so happy. These two guys, Fatal J and Jevion Dargan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. These two guys were really happy to see me, and I was happy to see them too. Indeed, I think Wes seemed happy to see me. Perch, I couldn't see because he just had this. This is a tough thing. I do this when I'm trying to intimidate people. I turn my camera off, or when I just haven't showered. But usually I do this when I'm ready to fight. And I'll turn my camera off, and it'll just be my laughing man, and you'll be talking to my laughing man rather than talking to my goofy face, my goofy fat face. Perch had his camera off. I didn't know Perch had any kind of problem with me. But look at the reaction here. I went and I said, did I cause trouble for Thinking Critical? And Wes, like if I did cause trouble for you, I certainly didn't mean to. You look at the ratio here, thumbs up, 415 thumbs up, 20 thumbs down, just 20. It's a great ratio. And I went down here and I just looked, and it's like, okay, people are talking about what we're saying. And this guy goes, the subtle shade between EVS and Perch is fascinating. I didn't notice it. When it was happening, I didn't notice it. I'm very cheerful, and it's hard for me to really reckon with the idea that, I would be on a show with somebody who, didn't like me. I'm a very likable and charming person. Therefore, when you find out that, there's shade or somebody's saying things that, I didn't recognize it. I would go back and watch it, but it's too long. I'm very busy. Makes me wonder if EVS, this person, Misanthrope Man, makes me wonder if EVS ever regrets running his mouth so much. Probably not. This person, Scott Hunt, says, dude, he ran his mouth straight to the bank and newfound relevance and power. He has zero regrets. This is correct. He says, yeah, he's good at what he does. Just wonder if sometimes he regrets it. I can tell you I don't regret it. Not even a little bit. Not even slightly do I regret speaking my mind. I do not regret anything that's happened, but of course, everything went my way. Ask me what would have happened if, we would have gotten evicted from my home, if, the fans didn't catch me, if my YouTube channel didn't work out. That would have been a whole other thing. My life could have very easily have been destroyed over this, over the fact that, I was an outspoken Republican in an industry full of leftists. Who tried to destroy me because I voted for Trump, and I was vocal about it while they were in extreme psychic pain. Had I been cast out into the street, would I have regrets? Yes. But do I have regrets now? No, I don't have. Why would I have any regrets? I'm doing everything that I want to do in life. People talk about me more than ever. I'm, more relevant than I could have ever possibly been as an artist sharing Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps with an artist who was better than me. Yes, I'm quite happy where I am, wealthy and healthy, relatively healthy, and having a really good time. So no regrets. Again, everybody on the channel, look at this. Awesome. I'm really glad you got EVS on here. I really like both of you. Great to see. Let me see. I love how Perch is trying to defend digital. Lul's not happening. Yeah, I don't think digital is happening for comics either. Right? I mean, people will say, yeah, but look at this. Yeah, but the music industry thought the exact same thing. The march towards change is way slower in comics, but never. Music industry made sense. Video games make sense. There's nothing collectible really about CDs, and that's where we were going. I mean, people still collect vinyl. There's a small subsection, like a subculture of people who collect vinyl. But the minute that I realized, and I had a lot of CDs, I had a rack, like a wall of CDs, and it was kind of a pain because I'd have to get out and I'd have to pull out a CD. And oftentimes I would collect CD singles. So I'd want to listen to the B-sides, and I'd get 2 songs. I'd have to change the CD and start over again. Real pain in the ass. It wasn't really that convenient. The minute the iPod, remember the first generation of iPod? The minute the iPod was created and it could hold tens of thousands of songs and you could carry it around in your pocket. Whereas when I used to travel, I would fill my bag with CDs to listen to out of a CD Walkman. It was so inconvenient. This makes way more sense. Comics are not really something that you drag around with you. You buy them, you read them, and then you want to collect them. People do like to collect comic books. It is a part of the experience. It's a tactile experience. Now, it's not true all the time. I mean, some people, and I'm one of them. There are some comic books that I only will read digitally. I want them right away. I want them the minute they come out, and that's Walking Dead. Walking Dead used to be like that for me. That's it's just convenient. I'm never going to read it again. I don't want a big collection of Walking Deads. There's nothing really collectible about them. I'd rather collect, and I will collect the hardcovers. I do have like the first 10 hardcover collections. But other than that, no, just give it to me really quick. Like I want it at midnight when it shows up. I'll read it. It takes 10 minutes to read, and then I just delete it off my phone. That's what digital's for me. But is it going to replace comics? No, it just won't. People don't see comics as disposable. Not most comics anyway. So I'll say a very small percentage. And I think we're at where we're at right now. Now, there are digital comics. I don't think it's going to grow. In fact, it's shrinking. Frankie V says, good to see EVS. He's very professional on the show. He lives up to the pro card. Oh, that's nice. Glad to see EVS invited. He's always fun to listen to. And by the way, I don't recognize all of these names. I recognize this one, 1977 Melba. I am too. Comicsgate is beginning to be embraced by all. Or so you would think. Part of me thinks that the comments section here scared some people. Because, people are happy to see me on the show. Let me see. Love this. A nice surprise by EVS. Nice surprise appearance by EVS. Would be cool to have him on more in the future. Well, that takes bravery. I mean, evidently, having me on the show means that you're going to have to tell some concern troll far left-wing activists to go fuck themselves. Not everybody wants to do that, and I completely understand. But I don't have to ask me to come on your show. I have my own show. There aren't too many platforms that are much, much, much bigger than mine that are asking me to come on. It's always the smaller platforms, So it's not like, I don't know. It's not like you're doing me a favor. I feel like I'm doing you a favor. Okay. So always here for EVS. Great conversation. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Here's somebody who, sorry to say I've enjoyed your channel, but I've now unsubscribed. I will go to comic channels that just talk about comics and not bag the industry at every turn all of the time, to be fair. But it's become a wine channel. And then the final insult is to introduce that extreme right-wing nut job on your show and to listen to his dribble and go off half-cooked with his wacky and absurd comments on just about everything. It's the final nail. He does enough of it on his own show. Okay, that was there was no punctuation there, so I did my best to read that. For some reason, Wes from Thinking Critical liked that. He didn't like any of these other comments, but he liked that comment. Why would you like that comment? That guy just said that your channel is, becoming conspiratorial, and that it was becoming a conspiracy channel before you even invited me on. And I was the final straw. I was the final nail in the coffin. And Wes says, I appreciate you giving the channel a shot. Hopefully you'll give us another chance in the future. Why? What do you think? I mean, this is a guy who isn't anticipating the future. Why would this person says, I only discovered this channel because of the EVS appearance. It's the circle of life. That is correct. And thank you, Wes, for liking this comment too. Loved by Thinking Critical. That is correct. That is called churn. That is what we call churn. The idea is some people are going to flake away. Some customers will flake away for reasons that you can't control. You are going to be who you're going to be. They're going to go. The idea is to grow your audience in spite of that. So if one person goes away, 3 more people come on board, because of choices that you make. You're running a business. You make choices all the time. And not everybody is going to agree with those choices. But if you see your business actually shrinking and becoming in decline, then you're making some bad choices. If you're hearing that some people do not agree with you, but most people do, and they're coming, people are coming around, that's a good thing. This person says, how would you know what EVS talks about on his channel? I think everybody listens to my channel at this point. How could they not? I'm making these videos and getting 24,000 views now. That's mostly, that's most people. That's most people who are buying comics, I'm afraid. There might be 100,000 people that are buying comics now. If you've got 24,000 people listening to your conspiracy comic videos, you've got almost everyone. And those people who aren't listening are telling other people, are hearing it from the people who are. So let me see. I am not really into the EVS cult thing either. The EVS cult. But I think he was pretty well behaved on this panel and had some interesting insight. Wouldn't mind seeing him again as a guest on CT. That's fair. EVS knows what he's talking about. EVS has been right all along. So to attack him as a nut job is weird. Yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty centrist right-wing nut job. I'm a pretty centrist nut job in the sense that right-wingers get mad at me all the time. First of all, SJWs hate my guts and want to kill me. They think I'm a white supremacist, which I'm not. Again, my fellow Americans, people of color, LGBTQ fans of this show, I just hate SJWs. I do not have issues with skin color at all. Not at all. I find those beliefs to be reprehensible, heinous, stupid. I'm just not that way. I'm willing to accept that, in some cases there is such a thing as white privilege, or at least has been in the past. I don't know about today. So I'm reasonable. I'm a reasonable centrist gentleman who leans slightly to the right. These people want to paint me as a white supremacist. And if they want to paint me as a white supremacist, what chance does anybody else have? Everybody's a white supremacist if I am. It's absolutely crazy. All right. So to attack him as being a nut job is weird. To call him extreme right is just bigoted. Oh, God, if I was the extreme right wing, we'd be in trouble. I wish you well and hope you calm down and take the time to think and figure out what you're actually upset about. The truth is, all of these people are upset about their fathers. That's one thing that we figured out. Took a while to sort through this, but everyone who's mad at me, it turns out they have problems at home with their dad. I don't have any problems with my dad. Not at all. He's right upstairs. So that's why I'm a healthy young man. My dad grew a beard too. I know he did it because of me. My dad grew a great beard. I saw him at the airport. I was like, holy cow, Dad. Yeah, it looks like we're going to take a trip up to Alaska or something like that. We're going to fight The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. We honestly, we look great together right now. Me and my dad, beards. We look like we're out there ready to fight. Survivalists. We look like we're ready for the oncoming Civil War. Me and my dad. I love it. Ethan is seriously wondering what Fatal J is eating. Yeah, I liked Fatal J. I don't know who he is, but I like him. What the fuck, Wes? Put EVS in the title of the video. You'll triple your views. Oh, well, is that true? I do find that. I look at some people who make videos hating on me, and if you just put my name in your title, you're gonna. It's the same. I can't complain about it. Like ordinarily, I look at this and go, "You're just exploiting my name to, get views on your." And I go, "Oh yeah, wait, I did the same thing with Brie Larson and Ryan Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy." All right, carry on. I can't get it's YouTube. That's the game. You check the algorithm. If you're putting out a bunch of videos and they're getting 24 views, and then you do one that goes, EVS is a real jerk, and then that video gets 850 views, you're going to keep making videos about me. Fair enough. That's why the Brie Larson phenomenon happened. Primetime says, few thoughts. EVS is the top current comic book commentator. And I will not buy another floppy or current book, only classic collected editions. I'm the top current comic commentator. Wow. Top current comic book commentator. I actually like that comment a lot. That's one of those things where people are flattering you, and that's like something that you go, whoa. I'm pretty good on the microphone. You know, I'm all right. I like listening to me. If I like listening to me, why wouldn't somebody else like listening to me? Yes, EVS Fatal Jet. So anyway, the point of all this, I love Ethan. Dude is so fucking funny and spot on. Let me see here. I'm looking for more mentions of me. I enjoyed seeing Ethan Van Sciver on the show. I think he's obnoxious at times. What? But always has an interesting take. Fatal J dropped the mic when he said, I don't need a Jim Gordon comic book. Amen. Yeah, that's the problem with the comic book industry. So again, reading those comments just to say, what was the reaction? What they're used to just isn't sustainable anymore. It's not the way people do business. It's not the way people buy things. Right. I mean, when I want to buy something now, I don't know about you guys. I go on Amazon, I go on eBay, I look it up, I have it. Okay, so I mean, that's me being, well-behaved, being a kind, good guest, explaining my point of view. You know, you brought me on the show to explain my point of view about what's going wrong with comics, and I did it. I think I did it respectfully. So anyway, somebody tipped me off to this. I didn't know Perch had a problem with me, but this is a couple of things. First, Wes got together with Perch, and they made a video debunking one of my videos in which I say, hey, this is an unverified rumor that I just received. Unverified rumor. I said DC Comics means to stop publishing comics June 1st, 2021. Now, if I hear something, if somebody sends me a rumor like that, I'm going to share it with you. You know, I have no way to verify anything. I'm going to share it with you, but I'm going to put, if I don't personally believe it or don't think it's credible, I might put unverified rumor on it. I don't know if that's true. It seems like it could be true, but it also seems like it couldn't be true. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to warn you, first of all, that it's, a little bit shaky. These guys did a big video trying to debunk it. And they did a really bad job at it. They were saying things like, there's no way this is going to happen because DC Comics knows that if they stop publishing comics, then all of their fans are going to go over to Marvel Comics. And they're going to be angry and butthurt that DC Comics isn't publishing comic books anymore. So they're going to go over to Marvel. And I just listened to this like, you guys still think this is 2005. It's 2021. DC Comics has no autonomy. DC Comics has no choice. DC Comics doesn't get to make decisions on its own behalf. You understand? They sold themselves to a gigantic, heartless, soulless, massively indebted corporation that is making plans and cutting costs and cutting out parts of things that they own, selling aspects of the business that they purchased. This is AT&T that they no longer want to subsidize. When they're thinking about selling CNN, you think DC Comics is going, well, we better keep publishing comic books because if we don't publish comic books and make our tiny scrap of money that we work really hard for, understand the comic book industry is a tiny little niche business. There is very little money in publishing comic books these days, not compared to anything else. We're talking about people whose concerns, any one single project that AT&T Warner Brothers put on HBO Max would earn more. One project would earn more than DC Comic Books makes in an entire year, with thousands of moving parts that have to be concerned about, that people have to follow, employees, this and that. It's not feasible. They do not care. They are not concerned. If the comic book business goes from DC Comic Books to Marvel Comics, they don't care about comic books. Understand, it's a whole new world. We are no longer in control of the spaceship. Our little spaceship has been eaten by a bigger spaceship. And that bigger spaceship is determining our coordinations, our destination. And that's just reality. That is reality. Ass Titty Titty has taken over DC Comics. And therefore, DC Comics has no autonomy. Now, will AT&T, and by the way, these guys said, yeah, we think that AT&T is going to close down publishing, but do we think it's going to happen now? Do we think it's going to happen in June? We just don't think it's going to happen in June. And to that, I say, yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. I'm just telling you what I heard. I tell you what I hear. Seems like about 85% of it turns out to be true. This could not be true. How do I know? And I actually heard from somebody who said, I know it's not true, Ethan, because I have a project coming out in July. Well, one of the tipsters that reached out to me with the aspect, with the information that, since all of editorial has been fired, the company is being run by interns, essentially. I mean, not literal interns, but low-level editorial staff. Girls who don't know what they're doing and are terrified. This guy said, yeah, my books are still scheduled. They're not going to come out, though. He's like, there's no mechanism for these books that I've been hired to do to come out. They're not going to come out. So he's like, I'm just finishing them up. I am going to get paid for them, and I'm going to make other plans. So that makes sense to me. That makes good sense to me. All right. So anyway, somebody sent me this. And this is disappointing. This is very disappointing. I don't like this. And I will say again, if you have me on your show, be prepared to receive night letters. Be prepared to receive notes from people who are concerned trolling you. We're just concerned about your channel. We're just concerned about you, that you're associating with the alt-right. The alt-right. This is how I know SJWs are full of shit, because I know me. I'm not alt-right. I'm not white supremacist. If they're calling me white supremacist, they're calling everybody white supremacist. Most, far right-wing people that I know think I'm a liberal. And in many ways, I am a liberal. I'm a social liberal. This is how I know it's bullshit. These people are liars. If they would do it to me, I got to expect that they're going to treat other people this way too. So if you have me on your show, you're going to receive all kinds of abuse from hateful activists and bullies and monsters in the mob, representatives of the mob. And you've got to be prepared to stand up and say, fuck off. You have to. If you are unwilling or unable to do that, do not court my company. Do not ask me to come hang out with you. All right, let me play this video.
Particularly over the last 2 years, it became acceptable to start saying and believing that, you don't want to listen to the other person. You don't want to, it's wrong to listen to the other people. If you listen to them, that makes you a hateful person, or it's just to even listen. I won't even entertain these ideas. I won't even talk. These people should be shut out completely. Going down that path is a disaster. I absolutely hate that mentality, and I hate how we've become so tribal that even letting somebody else speak or bothering to give them any time is somehow evil and wrong. That's never going to cure this.
I got a lot of interesting feedback for Ethan Van Sciver's appearance on the channel. I thought he was cordial and provided insight. It was obviously a different perspective than what I'm providing, but some people say you shouldn't even give him a platform.
No, I lost about 30 subscribers, and I had people show up who's was really angry. Said from the very first second he appeared, you should have called him out on being a white supremacist and all these other things. And it's like that's not going to that's not going to help a conversation.
Okay, Perch, I am not a white supremacist. I am not. So what you could have said is not that it's not going to it's not going to start a good conversation if I immediately call him a white supremacist. I am not one. And letting that hang out in the air there with Wes nodding his head, you two guys, you two clowns, talking about having a conversation with the enemy, don't invite me on your show if that's how you feel. I just showed my audience the feedback that you received from my being on your show. I just showed my audience that most people were thrilled to see me on your show. So I do not believe that you received any substantial negative feedback. And if you did, ask yourselves why. Ask yourselves why you are courting that element. But I mean, for Perch to say, I should have called him out on being a white supremacist, and then say, and not respond by saying, I don't think Ethan is a white supremacist. I think that was a big reason why his channel blew up, why he gained power in comics, because irresponsible allegations like that were being tossed around. And a lot of people could relate, and people came to hear him talk about it, and that empowered him. So maybe we could criticize something that makes sense, like, is Ethan right about comics closing down, DC Comics closing down in June? That's something that we can argue. But we've had trouble like this, and this problem should have gone away in 2017. You know, this SJW tendency to label anyone who is a Trump supporter as a Republican, or who simply opposes social justice warrior activism, which has nothing to do with social justice. It's not, you're not Martin Luther King's, you're not Mahatma Gandhi's, you're internet bullies. You know, that's what SJWs are. You're internet bullies. You're far left-wing activist internet bullies. You flatter yourselves that you're anything else. And you label people the ugliest rhetoric possible. You call people the ugliest things possible in order to silence them utterly, to make them afraid, to potentially ruin their lives, and to make their voices not matter on the internet or in the industry in which they work. I don't know Perch. I don't listen to his show. I've heard his name before. I don't know what he's about. But I do resent that. I resent the fact that he heard. I'm not saying Perch is an SJW. I have no idea. I'm saying that he gets pushed around by SJWs. And if you can't do that, if you can't stand up against them, if you can't handle my appearance on your show, don't ask me to be on your show. If my reward for spending 2 hours on your show is that 3 days later you're going to make another video in which you imply subtly that I am a racist, don't ask me to be on your show. I don't want to associate with you. I get zero out of it. I have a much bigger platform. I'm talking right now to 1,473 people. What do I need you for? I put it to you that you need me. I put it to you that I actually understand the industry, and you don't. I put it to you that I have a platform. I'm a much better broadcaster than you are, a much superior entertainer than you. You need me. Don't ask me to be on your show if you're going to turn around and betray me this way to your audience by subtly implying that I hold views that discriminate and dehumanize a great portion of the people who buy my comic books. I won't have it. I'm on a show with Fatal J. I'm on a show with two people of color, two black guys, having a great time with them. Thank you for making this video and implying that you believe that I think that I am better than them, that they're less than me because of the color of their skin and my skin. I'm absolutely livid at you two clowns. Perch, I want you to say somewhere that it is your belief that I am not a white supremacist. Wes, from Thinking Critical, stand up for your guests. If you take it on the chin from weirdos who disagree with you, because you had a guest on to your show that was very successful, keep it to yourself. You do me harm. Absolutely infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. You know, I that's the thing. I would rather just not do it. I'd rather just not go on these people's shows. I'd rather not give them my company. If I know I'm in for a hostile trip, that's one thing. You know, I mean, I knew Dan Shaheen was going to be hostile to me. I had no idea there was going to be a problem with these two guys. No idea. Stand up against these people. Wes, Perch, stand up against them. What they do isn't fair. What they're doing to Gina Carano isn't fair. What they've done to countless other people, including your boy Zach, of course, your boy Zach. What they did to him was not fair. It was illegal, in fact. So, I hope that you'll, do me a favor and make it so that, this does not become an issue again. I want to be pleasant with people. Yeah, I'm not saying Perch is an SJW. I'm saying that he just let me down there. And that's the way it is. All right. So let's get back to this other thing. Mark Wade's coming back into Comicsgate. Let's get back to this other thing. So people are concerned. They're saying, is DC Comics going to end its publishing in June? I don't know. I still don't know where that came from or why. It was an anonymous tip. I'm not sure where it came from or if it was valid in any way, but I will say this. This is 4chan today. 4chan is spoiling, I don't know where they got this, DC Comics leaky leaks. Somebody sent this to me, and this was fascinating. So this is the future of DC Comics right here. As you can see from what is being leaked here, I don't see any Batman books mentioned, but this looks like the rest of the line. I've said that they're going to cut the books down to about 12 or 15 books, maybe even less. I don't really know. Are these valid? 4chan's funny. All right, let me see. So we've got Mark Russell. Mark Russell, of course, was fired on that Jesus book that he did. Mark Russell was an Andy Corey hire who came in and did The Second Coming with Richard Pace. And that book, of course, attracted the attention. But he says 500,000. I heard 250. I said, dude, you got 250,000 Christians to protest you, and you think I'm a problem to the comic book industry? You got DC Comics at a time when they're struggling and about to be taken over, subsumed by AT&T, to protest DC Comics and get your book canceled for low sales, and you think I'm a problem? I'm a PR problem? Well, Mark Russell responded to that by going, 250,000. It was 500,000. Nah. And then he blocked me. So Mark Russell is going to be on the Young Justice ongoing. Smaller cast centered around the core four, which would be Robin, Superboy, Wonder Girl, and Impulse. That's a good idea. I don't know about Mark Russell's. Teen Titans book by Sam Humphries. Sam Humphries, obviously another famous name to this channel. Two Flashes book, one with Barry and the other with Wally. The Wally book will start with a year one arc after a couple of issues like Rucka did with Wonder Woman. Boy, I find this hard to believe. This is where it starts getting tricky here for me. I believe these first two. Second one, I don't believe. I think that one Flash book would be enough for current, future DC Comics, AT&T DC. The idea of them having two Flash books with Barry and Wally, one with Barry, one with Wally, that would be primetime, Dan DiDio, except Dan DiDio didn't like Wally West. But he would definitely, at a time when the Flash TV show was big, and right now it's kind of petering out a little bit, he would have two Flash books. So I don't believe this. Wade is in charge. Mark Wade is in charge of Soups and Action. Mark Wade will be taking Superman from Brian Bendis. And by the way, I don't see Bendis's name here. So Mark Wade would be taking over Superman. Now, why is that interesting? That is interesting because Mark Wade has dreamed of writing two comic books in his life. He's wanted to write the Captain Marvel family, and he's wanted to write Superman, and he was rejected. He was rejected from that because he was blacklisted. And I never got the reason for that. I never really understood, 15 years ago, before any of this stuff happened, before I understood, SJWs and all this stuff. I didn't know what Mark Waid was. I was going to a taco restaurant, some Mexican restaurant with I don't know, Bob, Wayne, Dan DiDio, bunch of people. We're all in the minivan. And we're talking about stuff. And one of the things I said was, why wouldn't you? Mark Waid says that he wants to do Superman. Why wouldn't you let him do Superman? And Dan DiDio went, "Rrr." And Bob Wayne said, don't mention Mark Waid and Superman around Dan DiDio. And he said, it'll never. He said, Ethan, so never say never. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. I said, oh, clearly there's something going on here that I am not aware of. So this is something else, like Dan DiDio being gone and then Mark Waid getting a hold of the Superman franchise is crazy. And does this mean, assuming this is true, would this mean that Bendis is gone? Because one of the rumors that Bleeding Cool put out a while ago that they never followed up on was that, all exclusive contracts were going to be, given a second look at. And they never really said anything else about that. And I guess it's because everybody has a non-disclosure agreement. And they never, we never followed up. We never found out if people who had previous, beautiful exclusive contracts were getting them kind of torn up or not getting them renewed or something like that. Because that would make sense. Bendis would be kicked off as Superman. They'd bring Mark Waid in. They'd pay him pennies. And they'd say, go ahead and make your dreams come true, lad. That also could explain Jeff Johns. Did Jeff Johns have an exclusive contract with DC Comics? Did that contract end? Is that part of the reason why? I mean, that could be part of the reason why he's at Image right now with his creator-owned book, Geiger. Who knows? Christopher Priest in charge of Aquaman. He'll be happy about that because Aquaman is white and Christopher Priest at Marvel keeps being put on black characters. And he complained about it vocally. He said, just because I'm black doesn't mean you need to put me on black characters. He's like, I can write anything. So him writing Aquaman is kind of sweet. Like, that would be good if that were true. Saladin Ahmed in charge of Green Arrow. Holy shit. You want to see that book take a extreme left-wing turn? Green Arrow, of course, is a liberal. Famously, we know his politics. He's a liberal Democrat. Saladin Ahmed. All right. The new Red Hood book. Covers will be made by Phil Noto. See, all right. So this makes me think there's some truth to some of this because we don't know who's doing the Red Hood book. And I can't believe there even is a Red Hood book. Why would there be a Red Hood book out of all things? Red Hood doesn't really sell particularly well. I mean, what the hell? But the fact that they know that Phil Noto is going to be doing covers, that's where the leak came from. I'm doing covers for a new Red Hood book. By the way, this might be one of those books that is being worked on. It's like a leftover project. It's not going to happen. Justice Society of America Ongoing by Jeff Johns. That makes sense, I guess. Does he want to do that? Does Jeff want to go back to Justice Society again? What happened to his Captain Marvel book? I mean, it could happen. He could do it. I don't know why he'd want to do that, but Alan Scott, 6-issue miniseries by Orlando. Of course, Alan Scott is gay. At least the Earth 2 version of Alan Scott is gay. And so maybe he's going to be gay here. Superman Black Label book by King. Is that Tom King? This has got to be a troll. This is a troll. Okay, now about the characters. These are secret facts that we're going to learn about these characters. Again, this is 4chan. Is this real or not? I'm going to say not, but it's still fun. All right, here we go. Now about the characters. All the people who died in HIC is brought back to life. What's HIC? Crisis. Heroes in Crisis. Okay, that makes sense. So all of the people that Tom King ruthlessly killed are back. Roy's daughter, Leon, is back. She was resurrected in the events of Convergence. Roy is Red Arrow, right? Is he Red Arrow now? I don't know what his new identity is. Diana was part of the original JSA. That makes sense. That would be a Jeff Johns thing. John, Jon, that's Superman, young Superman. John is going to be de-aged, and all his memories of the 7 years and his time in the Legion will disappear, but he will still have a ring. All right. Jonathan Kent. I think that's Jonathan Kent. Kyle will become relevant again. The first event will be about him. That's Kyle Rayner. So in the Green Lantern book that is not mentioned here, Kyle Rayner is going to be the Green Lantern in the first event. Like he's going to become the story is going to be about him. All right, now they're fucking with us. Connor and Tim, that's Superboy and Tim Drake Robin, will start dating by late 2021 as they both come out as bisexual. James Tynion and Mark Russell are in charge of the whole storyline. Now I can see Mark Russell wanting to do that particular story. But Superboy and Robin coming out as gay. By the way, when you say they're bisexual, it's like if they're fucking each other, they're gay. I'm sorry. Well, we would be. Well, if you're a couple, you're a gay couple. Even though you might be interested in other women. You might be kind of interested in women, but if you're in a relationship, you might as well just say you're gay. So, yeah, maybe it's true. Maybe it's true that what DC Comics is going to be doing under Daniel Cherry and Pamela Lifford and Marie Javins and Jim Lee just sitting there like tied up and gagged in the corner. They're going to make Superboy and Tim Drake gay couple. Let me see. The whole DC editorial is surprised that Warner Brothers and AT&T gave the good to go, by the way. Jeff was the one who pushed for it. Bendis is kind of mad because he wanted to make Naomi and Khan a couple back in 2019 with the whole Wonder comics, and nobody wanted it. Okay, so they're saying Jeff Johns is the one who wanted to make Superboy and Robin a gay couple. Let me think about that. I don't think that's true. But AT&T said, yeah, okay, let's do it. Okay, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Damian will become Robin again. Tim is going to go back to being Red Robin. So Tim, who is in a gay couple with Superboy, is going to renounce his role as Robin. He's going to go back to being Red Robin. And Damian Wayne will become Robin. Marcus Toe is in charge of the new Tim design. He has the same hair as his Red Robin run. Jason will also have the white stripe again. So that's Hush. Jason is going to have a white stripe. This is because they don't want people to play who is who anymore when the Robins share a panel. And he says, and that's all I can say. And this guy goes, this is all too good to be true. What a fucking nightmare. How is that too good to be true? All right, so here's what I'm saying to you. These are other rumors. Rumors abound. Rumors come my way. Rumors come their way. So it's possible that I am right. And DC will, well, I'm not saying I am right. It's possible that the prediction that I received was right. And DC Comics is closing down publication. That they will not be publishing paper comics after June, or at least they're going to try to close down the paper comics publishing by June of 2021. That's a possibility. The other possibility is that Superboy and Robin will be fucking each other. I don't know. Who knows, guys? Who knows? It's going to be great, dude. 2021 is going to be a wild year. We're going to have a good time. I'm sure of it, that we will have a good time. But you know what? I mean, we fight evil. Evil sometimes wins. And there's nothing we can do about it. There, we can just say, well, we tried, I mean, we fought really hard to win in 2020 and in November 2020, and the forces of evil are obviously too great. Umbrella Guy did his best to stop this from happening. Warner Brothers still in discussions to produce a Mara solo film with Amber the Turd Heard. This is a woman who domestic spousal abuse and literally poops in beds when she's angry at people. Not accidentally, I don't think. I think it's intentional. I think she means to do this. In case you thought it was safe to go back into the water in the hopes that the legal drama surrounding Amber Heard would spell her removal from the DC Extended Universe, or rather, you didn't read our last report on the matter. Warner Brothers' upcoming plans will leave you dismayed. These women are crazy. Look at her. She wants to cut Johnny Depp's finger off and poop in his bed. Like, you look at her and you go, she's lovely. Like, what a beautiful. What goes on in here? Daddies, stand by your daughters. You cannot disappoint your daughters and then foist them upon society and unsuspecting character actors like Jonathan Depp. You can't do it. Somewhere there's a father who went, fuck that bitch. I'm doing my own thing. And now look at what we got. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Mikey Sutton and Geekosity's latest scoop indicates Warner Brothers is still thinking about a Mara solo film, with Heard returning as the red-haired Queen of the Sea, despite the actress's legal scandal and resulting petitions. Understand, guys, we live in a world where Amber Heard, despite everything, and in a normal world, Warner Brothers would be ashamed of all this and would be like, you know what, we're just not going to do it. We're just not going to. We will end discussion of it, or we'll replace Amber Heard. We'll just do a Mara film without her. So, considering the fact that Amber Heard is probably going to have a Mara solo film, get ready for Superboy and Robin to start fucking. That's all I'm saying. You would go, there's no way that's true. No, Amber Heard has a Mara film coming out. It's very true. It is true. It's true. It's true. These people act 100% out of spite. All of their decisions, all their creative decisions are done out of spite for you. I mean, these people saw Umbrella Guy's videos and went, fuck this guy. We're going to... We're going to promote Amber Heard. What is this? Who's this yellow flash guy? Fuck this guy. We're going to have JTH says, quiet SJW daddy, father of all indecent. That is right. Sutton stresses that the studio is only discussing this and no movie has been greenlit. Okay, so they're just doing this to screw with Tug. But it's clear they aren't taking the petitions and outrage seriously. For Warner Brothers, the public outcry is no different from the pushback Disney experienced with Captain Marvel, and Heard is, in a sense, their Brie Larson. How proud she must be. As a source told Sutton that the studio sees it no differently than the boycott of Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel film, which proved to be ineffective as it brought in over $1 billion to Disney. Well, to be fair to Brie Larson, she didn't publicly defecate in Johnny Depp's bed. Say a lot of things about Brie Larson if you want to. She was tactless, kind of crude, annoying. She fixed all that. She kind of brought all that under control. I don't mind Brie Larson now. Not so much. She never pooped in anyone's bed. She never squatted over anyone's comforter, as far as I know, and excreted her breakfast. She never did that. So Brie Larson, they could just say, haters gonna hate, and put out a Captain Marvel movie that would do well. I don't know if the same thing is going to apply to Amber Heard. A lot of people in the chat are saying, no, she did. She did poop in it. No, she didn't. I don't believe Brie Larson pooped in your bed. Yeah. Don Ringel says Brie only crapped on her acting career. Did she? Did she? Let's take another look at Brie Larson. She's doing all right. They believe it's artificially inflated and most likely politically motivated. That's projection. The source continued. They don't base their decisions on web chatter. If only that were true of everyone. If it's a reflection of the demand and audience perception, web chatter should matter. But it appears beside the point, as it's clear WB is paying more attention to Aquaman's billion-dollar global haul, $813 million of which came from overseas. Though Arthur Curry's success may have occurred nearly 2 years ago, it seems that Warner Brothers is seeking to keep the same set of cast and crew, which proves that the company will look the other way at any scandal or wrongdoing in the name of box office returns, especially foreign, unless your name is Johnny Depp. Poor Johnny Depp. Depp, on the other hand, recently lost his defamation suit against The Sun in the UK, which he argued that the paper had unsubstantially described him as a wife beater, following a Washington Post op-ed in which Heard asserted the same, but has another court case against Amber Heard coming up, which in theory could be the deciding factor on whether or not Heard remains in the role. By the way, look at this backdrop here. This is actually the basement for the house that Cecil is house sitting in. These walls are empty now. Cecil would drink all of this. Absolutely all of it. All right. Likewise, there may be momentum on the side of Mara getting her own movie, as she has already been on screen and can be looked at as a female Aquaman, which is enticing to the goals of it. Extraordinary box office results and establishing greater female representation. They can market the demos in the PG-13 range, particularly so they can compete for pop culture attention with Marvel's Black Widow and Captain Marvel. All right, good. To this end, the previously announced Batgirl and Supergirl films that heavily indicated that they will take place within the same DC Extended Universe continuity as Aquaman and Birds of Prey. However, Supergirl is believed to be canceled as of this year, and Batgirl has basically stalled. The BOP scribe Christina Hodson is attached as writer. Amber Heard is a lock for Aquaman 2, and Warner Brothers is allegedly playing catch-up with Marvel Disney's push for diversity. So don't be shocked if Mera's solo film moves forward. Don't be shocked, Tug. It's going to happen. You know. Don't be shocked. They're not listening. They don't care. You know. They're out there making gay pornography out of Young Justice. They don't care. Why would they care? All right, let me read some super chats here. See how you guys are doing. Make sure that you're okay. I need to make sure that you're all right. Everything is so slow. Wow, we got super chats from Lord J. Bama fan who says, if Superboy clinched, would he rip Robin's junk off? Yes. 200 Watt Studio says, Wade's Superman. Perry White can't fix this now. Sapient Underground says, cancels Second Coming because hurt feelings equals SJWs. Deltaverse Comics says, love these moments when Ethan just goes off. Joe Frago says, I knew Perch was a fence sitter, but it's unfortunate to see he's a basic bitch SJW. He did block me on Twitter too, so no surprise, I guess. Tank Ferret says, indie comics are the way once again, and Comicsgate is the sharpest spearhead in the line. Hail! Sips cup of SJW tears. Yeah. Tuna Watch Studio says, Andrea does the brine, Shane will take the Rhine. I just think that this white, Shane as an anti-Semite. I don't know. Julius Freeman Comics, I just don't think he is. It's just my opinion. The future is indie. Create and own your own IP. Back the Ghetto Dragon on Indiegogo. Undead Voter says, hi, can you please bundle eBay products to save on shipping? If I order 2 books, I have to pay double shipping. It gets expensive when shipping to the UK. I wonder how to be. Yeah, I mean, ask us. send Andrea a message. I think we can do that. Krista Joe says, did you see Marsha Blackburn decimate Zuckerberg and Dorsey in the tech censorship hearing this week? She was the MVP, eviscerating them. Happy holidays. I didn't see it. Lord J. Obama fan says, Daddy, love me. Borvac says, Pele is a shop owner, and Perch is saving his face reveal for when he announces his comic. He has his own perspective, but he isn't against you or Comicsgate. Sir Angus Fungus says, thanks for my fat books, Frogman. Unforgettable. Nice. I'm glad you got the Unforgettable books. All About the Book says, I watch Thinking Critical live stream every week. All those guys are real comic lovers. Perch is a former comic shop owner, but never shows his face. No offense intended. Number one Marvel fan says, hey, buddy, the lefty collectors out there have been crying over your comments about DC closing soon. LOL, I enjoy trolling them. Keep up the great work. Comic book. Wow, thanks for 5 black hearts there. I appreciate that. 200 Watt Studio says, Andrea does the brine. Shane will take the rain. You meant Ryan, and you corrected that later. Yeah. Days of Clarity says, your show is my favorite on YouTube. That's nice. Thank you very much. David Bowser. You said that the Wagyu steaks. And then we've got the non-binary sex who cleans up the gender fluid. 200 Watt Studio is hot tonight. Jedi Mind Trick says, I'm not a member anymore. Damn you, Google. Yeah, I don't know what goes on, but yeah, even now, I mean, I don't know what I did. Maybe it's because I was talking about white supremacy. YouTube has been very good to me. When I'm not live streaming, I want you guys to understand something. Right now, I'm trying to build my channel up. And I was at 130,797 subscribers, right? Since I started live streaming, 752. So, 45, can I do math? 45 subscribers just disappeared. And I have to wonder if it was you guys. Did you guys do that to me? I have a feeling, and other people are telling me this too. YouTube is not rewarding, they're not rewarding people who say the word white supremacist. They don't know if you're for or against. Their algorithm picks it up and doesn't like it. But I can't help it. I just, I have to actually talk about what I'm talking about. And the other thing is, YouTube is just indiscriminately kicking ass for people who live stream too much. I've been making videos, and like I said, in the past week, I've made videos every day, and it's so fun. My channel is growing. I've got like 300 or 400 new subscribers. And I plan to continue doing it, making videos, doing fewer live streams. I'm here because I had something to say. And Andrea said, you haven't live streamed in a while. You should live stream. And when you live stream, she said to me, when you live stream, she says, your job when you live stream is not to look at Cecil's, you hang out with Cecil and you drink with Cecil, she might say. She hasn't officially said this, but I know this is what she means. She's like, you hang out with Cecil when you live stream for 5 hours a night. You do not promote our YouTube store. Our eBay store. You do not promote your campaigns. You just sit there looking at models, like fitness models in stretch pants, squatting. And that is true. And that's not my fault. That is what Cecil does. Cecil gets on these live streams and he just puts a loop of women in stretchy pants, and they're doing squats, or they're playing volleyball, they're pole vaulting, they're like doing splits, and we just sit there and go, what else am I supposed to do? She goes, you didn't sell anything, you didn't promote eBay, you didn't promote your campaign, you just sit there and goggle women in stretchy pants. She's got a point. You got to use your time on YouTube more wisely. That's what I've got to do. I've definitely got to use my time here more wisely. And so that's what I'll do. I will say on behalf of Andrea and All Caps Comics, we have an eBay store. The link is in the description. You could just hit that description and you'll see. Do you have Cyberfrog Blood Honey? Do you have Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales? Do you? It's all right here. Everything from our past campaigns are right here. And you can get it. You can see the stuff that I was shopping for. I was like, Strange Tales Annual #2. I want that, but I don't want it in bad condition. All right. This is our store. We've got everything here. We've got exclusive stickers. We have unforgettable tales, and we have the Wreck Planet Ashcan. The one thing that I made my dad do, he came down here. He was like, "Wow, your man cave is really cool. Like, you know, it could be a little apartment down here." I'm like, "Maybe it will be." You know, when Andrea kicks me out, I'll put a mattress on the floor, Dad. I'll eat cans of beans on the floor down here. And I made him sit down and read Wreck Planet. He liked it. The Wreck Planet preview book. He asked me a lot of questions. He said, "That guy just blew up." I said, "Yeah. That's what happens. That's what the Vespas do to you." He was impressed by it. He was very impressed by it. He said, "Wow, so you have other artists who draw your character? People buy, they draw Cyberfrog and you more than I can even tell you, Dad." I said, "I have tons of artists here within Comicsgate and without of Comicsgate who draw Cyberfrog and Salamandra. I have so much art like backstocked. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I guess I'll just make trading cards of it. You know, divorce Cecil and listen to Andrea more." Says, "What about?" I will. You know, Todd Lehman says, "Do an eBay ad with stretchy pants." That might work. No, because it'll be too distracting. You know, it will be too distracting for people. Christine Venner says, "Uncle E, you need to have a live streaming channel and a channel for vids. Then you can grow your channel." Well, I do have another channel, and it's called All Caps Comics. And I could, theoretically speaking, only live stream from that channel. I could go to All Caps Comics. Right now, it's a channel that I barely use. It's my backup channel, just in case they finally come strike me down here. I would move over. It's got like 10,000 subscribers, so it's built up pretty well. I could go over there, and I could start live streaming on that channel, and then leave this channel alone. That's a thought. That's an idea. You know, you guys have to, you guys let me know. People are saying ogle, not goggle. Isn't it goggle because you wear goggles and those are around your eyes? It's ogle. You ogle women in stretchy pants? I think you're right about that. I've thought about it. Please don't make another channel, says Jasper Plan. I know I already have one. Well Hung and Dung says, "You said this about 2 years ago, numbnuts." Well Hung and Dung has a real problem with me. I don't know what it is. It's him. It's Awazaru. These guys are all being led down the wrong path by Jabba the Cuck. I've said this over and over again. All right, it's Ogle. Ogle, says David Soppa. You ogle women in stretchy pants. I like goggling them. You know. What? Don't listen to that fool. You need a second channel, says Sheila Allen. Sheila Allen knows YouTube. She knows. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I'm having fun. Force Goes Fabio comes back and he says, "You know what? We love you, EVS." He says, "Don't listen to Well Hung and Dung. Don't listen to him. What does he know?" He didn't say much of that. He just said, "We love you, EVS." But it was all implied. It was implicit. Amir Walker says, "I ogle Ethan through his bedroom window." That would be funny. Yeah. You could do that. You know, I'm going to stand in front of my window with the light on. Get undressed slowly. You know, you guys can sit outside if you want to.